Welcome back to ECW CyberSlam episode number 24, the go-home show before the first pay-per-view since ECW's return, Heatwave 2006. The episode begins with a video package looking back at the conclusion of last week's show. After Steve Corino defeated Tommy Dreamer with outside help, Paul Heyman came to the top of the stage. He announced that Steve Corino would face Terry Funk at Heatwave and shockingly accepted the challenge of Tommy Dreamer. There was one added stipulation, however: if Tommy Dreamer lost, he would be fired from ECW. Out of the video package, we go into the first match of the evening, Johnny Kashmere and Trent Acid picking up a fairly decisive one-sided victory over Roadkill and Doring, the team who the Havana Pitbulls had beat to become the champions in the first place. It's two decent performances from Acid and Kashmere. Pleased with that, and this just sets up the segment after the match where Trent Acid and Johnny Kashmere are attacked from behind by Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero. The Havana Pitbulls predictably lay into both men. After the initial flurry, they throw Johnny Kashmere to the outside, focusing solely on Trent Acid. Looking to take him out ahead of Heatwave, they brutally lay into him before hitting the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's a poor segment, but the tag team champions stand tall, ready for their first defense live on pay-per-view. That's not done anything for the heat of the match, but it doesn't really matter as we go into the next segment, a pre-recorded sit-down interview with Joey Styles. Paul Heyman talking fairly elusively, ignoring the questions that he doesn't like and using the time only to further his agenda against Tommy Dreamer. Paul Heyman explains why he has targeted the likes of Tommy Dreamer, saying that it isn't about originals and new breed, it's about moving with the times. Tommy Dreamer is stuck in his late 90s rebellious spirit phase and he needs to grow up. The world has moved on, ECW has moved on, and so should Tommy Dreamer. Making things personal, Heyman says that Dreamer's career will end at Heatwave, and considering the fact he has a wife and two children at home, it will be the wake-up call that he has needed for a long time. Joey asks Heyman what happens if he doesn't win, and Heyman doesn't like this question at all. He gets out of his seat looking to intimidate Styles before telling him that this interview is over. It's a good segment, always good from Paul Heyman. He's a very good promo, as everybody knows. It gains heat to the storyline. Out of that, we get a video package showing footage of Masato Tanaka's best moments in ECW. It features clips for his matches with Mike Awesome, the most recent one being at One Night Stand 2005. The package then ends, putting over his return at Heatwave. He will face Mana Sasaki live on pay-per-view. That segment leads into a fairly unremarkable second match of the night. It's just two people who won't be in action at the pay-per-view, so we've put them in a match on this show that airs the night before. Stevie Richards defeating Balls Mahoney in 6 minutes and 1 second with help from C.W. Anderson. But really, the match is just to set up a Steve Corino promo after the match. He says that he didn't want to be the one to put Terry Funk down, but having seen him practically begging to be put out of his misery last week, he had no choice. As Corino continued to run down his Heatwave opponent, Funk came down to the ring. With a bull rope in his hand, he clocked both Stevie Richards and C.W. Anderson before turning his attention to Corino. Funk then told Corino that many men have tried to end his career before, and he won't be the last to fail at doing that. At Heatwave, Funk doesn't want there to be anywhere to run or anywhere to hide, and he suggests that they strap each other to the rope and fight until only one of them is breathing. Corino accepts the challenge and leaves the ring. Their match this Sunday will be a bull rope match. This leads into a video package with Joey Styles and Taz running down the card for Heatwave 2006, as well as that match that has just been confirmed. Rob Van Dam will defend the ECW World title in the main event against CM Punk. Perhaps the match with the highest stakes, however, is Paul Heyman versus Tommy Dreamer. Should Dreamer fail to win that match, he will be fired from ECW. Fittingly, we go into a sit-down interview with Tommy Dreamer after that, but he makes it clear from the get-go that he hates the premise of these sit-down interviews. Before long, Tommy Dreamer stops talking to the interviewer, instead cutting a promo directly down the camera. Tommy Dreamer speaks passionately about his history in ECW and says that when Paul Heyman tells him to go home and look after his family, he fails to realise one thing. This is how Tommy Dreamer provides for his family. Everything he does in the ring is for his family. He bleeds ECW, and just like every single fan who will watch at Heatwave, he owes so much to those 3 letters. At Heatwave, he's going to beat Paul Heyman to a bloody pulp and get back the heart and soul of ECW from the greedy hands of Paul Heyman. So the final segment in that storyline is only a D+51. Would have hoped for it to be better. It's lost heat to the storyline, but nonetheless, we have set up that match for the pay-per-view. We then go into that promoted main event, CM Punk and Rob Van Dam picking up the victory over Sonny, Siaki and Xavier. CM Punk hitting a go-to-sleep to Xavier, seemingly having the match won, but Rob Van Dam tags himself in, hitting the 5-star frog splash, stealing the credit, stealing the glory. Two good performances from Rob Van Dam and CM Punk. That is, of course, encouraging to see ahead of the pay-per-view. A 66C+ ensures that the go-home show should get a fairly decent rating, at least a C rating I'm expecting. Xavier doing well. Sonny Siaki, as always, the weak link. As soon as the winner's hands are raised, CM Punk leaves the ring, annoyed that Rob Van Dam stole the pinfall after he'd done the hard work. Either he has a knowing smirk on his face, he knows exactly what he's done, but as Punk reaches the top of the ramp, that changes. The rest of the members of the Hustle then come down to the ring, targeting the ECW World Champion. As the attack goes on, CM Punk refused to even turn around and look at what was happening. He's washed his hands of Rob Van Dam. Sabu and Brent Albright eventually run down to the ring, but are outnumbered by the dominant group. Eventually, Low-Key Homicide and the Havana Pitbulls stand tall, Homicide speaking to get CM Punk's attention. Punk eventually turns around, Homicide telling him that Heatwave is his chance to complete this. He says that every single person laid out, every fan in the building, and everybody watching at home has doubted CM Punk. The new breed have already changed ECW, they have already revolutionised the business, and at Heatwave, CM Punk has the chance to join them on the right side of history. Homicide doing well in the promo there, using the freedom to improvise to his advantage. A C-55 is a good segment for the end of the go-home show. A C60 rating overall, I'm happy with that. Increasing our popularity in 45 regions. Keeps us on that consistent run of C minuses. I can't quite remember what the recent episodes have been, but nonetheless, it's a good episode, and we've built up those matches. The key thing is that Heatwave is the next show for ECW, and we have those three marquee matches: CM Punk versus Rob Van Dam, champion v champion for the ECW World Championship; Terry Funk versus Steve Corino in what is now a bull rope match; and Tommy Dreamer versus Paul Heyman. If Tommy Dreamer fails to win, his ECW career is over.